Hi everyone, welcome to Board of Tanks with stewiejp. I'm Stewie and this is a double shot of Tier 6 action. This is the first game, features the Strv 74, the Tier 6 Swedish Medium tank being driven by my old mate MatchyHK. MatchyHK, one of the regular contributors to World of Tanks with stewiejp, for which I'm eternally grateful. And in this battle, it's an encounter game on Prokhorovka. Of course, in an encounter game, you need to either kill all the enemy tanks, as usual, or capture the white flag. But it does take a little bit longer to capture the white flag, a full 3 or 4 minutes I think it is, with one person. But in this game it's a Tier 7 match. Match is in his Strv 74, which is the Tier 6 Swedish, brand new Swedish medium tank. Of course, the big thing that I love about this Swedish medium tank, I've only got the Tier 5, but I'm not that far off getting the Tier 6, is it's got massive gun depression. Now you can see that Matchy's got 6 sets in this tank, so he needs to be a little bit careful. There are 2 artilleries, and those artilleries, even though it's only Tier 6 and Tier 5, that Tier 6 could probably take him down pretty heavily. There's not much armour on the Swedish medium tank, and you don't want to get taken out by Artie too early. Gets a shot and he tracks that Chaffee, and the Chaffee gets taken out by the Tiger P. His team are winning 2-zip, and Matchy's running around looking for some more opportunistic shots, maybe on the Cromwell or the Looks or whatever other tanks make themselves appear. Those heavy tanks haven't been spotted yet, the IS or the 09, or even the new Swedish tank destroyer, the IKV 90B. Now, Strv, I'm told in a recent video, stands for Stridswagen, which might sound German, or maybe it's just because I'm saying it wrong, but Stridswagen, and it means something. I'm sure someone will correct me if I'm wrong, but it looks like a pretty good tank. Have a look at it. It's reasonably mobile. It's definitely quicker than the Tier 5. It's got a reasonably accurate gun, I'd say, looking at it. Even though that shot missed, you can see that the gun does 150 hit points of damage, which isn't too bad at Tier 6. Has a decent amount of penetration as well. Just looking for some snipey shots into those Tier 6 and the Tier 4 medium tank that are approaching the hill. No idea where that last shot went. It looked like it was fully aimed. Blind shots towards the American medium tank, and it looks like they've got a tank on the flag, but you can see it's over 3 minutes, so there's plenty of time to worry about the cap. And finally lands a shot on the IS, taking the Tier 7 Russian tank down to a 1-shot, gets killed by the Chinu, and now it's time to snipe at the 09. Of course, the 09 carries 1,550 hit points, so it's going to take more than 1 or 2 shots to destroy. The score is 5-1, and Matchy's team are lucky enough to be in the lead. He hasn't picked up a kill yet, but looks like he's taken that Oni down to 500 odd hit points of health. Now he's down to 379. Goes for another one. Takes another 142 off him. Now his side are copping it a little bit. Now he's down to a 1-shot, the big Japanese. That blind shot obviously didn't hit, but there's a T25 too. And so Matchy's just going to snipe away. He's pretty sure he hasn't moved, so he's going to keep putting blind shots into it, but ammunition count's starting to get a little bit low. He's only got 9 normal rounds and 9 premium rounds left, so he doesn't want to be blind shotting too much unless he knows that he's putting some pain into the enemy tanks. Looks like the tanks on the hill, on Matchy's side at least, looks like one of them's pulling back, one of them's going forward. That can be a recipe for disaster. Looks like the Chinu's trying to spot from the hill, maybe get some snipey shots into something. There's the American medium tank, the M4A3E1, but Matchy's going to take the opportunity to get rid of the top tier heavy after having taken him down from almost full health down to not much at all. Looking for shots on the Sherman. I wouldn't waste my shell there. Matchy takes a big punch in the mouth from the Swedish tank destroyer. Also gets ammo rack from the American tank destroyer, who's sitting back on the hill. He clicks on the mini-map just to let his team know that's where shots are coming from, and that T25 too can be a pretty dangerous tank, especially when it's top tier. And he knows that American That American tank destroyer is just going to keep chipping away. Of course, that's the one that famously comes up from the Hellcat. Is he going to go for one more blind shot? Yes, he is, but he's been spotted, so he needs to take a little bit of evasive action. He's only got 257 hit points out of his original 750. He's picked himself up a kill, and 1,764 hit points of damage that we know about. Now, looking at the mini-map, it looks like the tanks on Matchy's side have given a big push up to where those tank destroyers were. Of course, there's the IKV-90B. I'm sure someone will tell me how it's pronounced, which is a brand new tank destroyer line. Shot into the rear of the Sherman. Thank you very much, says Matchy, but he really wants to make sure that tank destroyer doesn't put any damage into him. Bounces the shot from that T-25 too, so he knows he's still lit, so he gets behind one of these houses, picks up a few cap points, but main thing is to avoid the gun of the American tank destroyer, the T-25-2 at tier 7. 13-4 is the score, just artillery and the American TD left, so it's just a case of cleaning up now. And of course, when it's this stage of the game, everyone does what they normally do, and they all of a sudden they don't know how to camp, and they start pushing straight into the tank destroyers and the artilleries that are left on the enemy side. You can see his track there, puts a shell into him, and the VK-3002M gets the last kill of the game, which is always a satisfying feeling. A comfortable win in the end, 15-5. It wasn't looking that way for the early stages of the battle, but not a bad game at all with our mate MatchyHK in his STRV Stritchwagon 72. It's an Ace Tanker Mastery Badge, as you can see on the screen. Bruiser, fire for effect, Confederate for hitting more tanks than anybody else in the player, and a high caliber. Didn't really look like that in the game, but I suppose a lot of those blind shots would have went through, and a lot of the other tanks on the side were probably being a little bit conservative. Some were being quite aggressive, it's good to see, but some were being a little bit conservative. But looking at that score, 3,266 hit points of damage. The in-game damage counter only picked up 1,700 of that, so that's not much more than half, but 3,266 hit points of damage, 2 kills, 1,331 base experience. He fired 36 shots, 25 hit, 23 did damage. A lot of it was sniped, shooting towards that hill, but all in all, a pretty good game from our mate MatchyHK, and a reasonably profitable game too, 20,500 credits with a premium account, and that's the new Swedish Tier 6 medium tank. And what would a Tier 6 medium tank video would not be complete without a Cromwell replay. This is a normal Cromwell, not a Cromwell B. I've just thrown this one into the mix. It's another encounter game, this time on Muravanka, a map that I always forget how to say. It's been driven by my old mate shipwreckedtwice from RNG Clan, and is, unlike Matchy, is down by 2 tiers in this game. It's a tier 8 battle, but there's only 2 tier 8 tanks on the enemy side. I'm sure you'll be comforted to know that, and only quite a few tier 7s though, including the famous E25. Now he's getting into a nice aggressive spotting position here. He doesn't want to be out-visioned though. He doesn't want to be out-gunned either. If the enemy put a lot down that one line, I think shipwreckedtwice will be going back to the garage pretty quickly. But he had a bit of a run up the hill just to try and see what was around. He didn't get lit, and he didn't really spot many tanks either. But now he is lit, and he's been shot by the Tiger 1. But that Tiger 1 in a pretty interesting, I'll say interesting, in a very interesting position there, because all these tanks should have shots at him. They all should be absolutely cleaning him up. They've got a massive advantage, 1 versus about 5 or 6 there. But I'm guessing that a lot of the tanks on shipwreckedtwice's side aren't quite sure where the enemy tanks are, so they're being a little bit conservative. Looks like the T29 and the Oni are moving towards that Tiger, and the enemy T29 has been spotted with the T34 in some pretty good hold down positions there, just near the cap circle. T34 rolling onto the cap. T29 using his gun depression and his hold down armour to have shots from the back of the hill. Shipwreckedtwice getting pretty aggressive to go towards that T29. That T29 can take the majority of his health just with 1 shot. Sorry, T34. So he needs to be very, very careful indeed. Wiggle around and move and hope that he misses. Very lucky that shot missed. 1-0 is the score, 1-1 now. And looks like the enemy tanks have got this white flag surrounded. I guess Shipwreckedtwice and his team are probably lucky that it takes so long to cap in an encounter battle, over 3 minutes for one tank. Shipwreckedtwice looking at shots on the T-34. T-34 just going full YOLO straight down the guts there, and that's allowing Shipwreckedtwice just to continue to chip away. 143 hit points at a time. It looks to me like that T-34 has got somewhere better that he wants to do. Either that or he's going for some kind of silly mission. Look, this is just crazy. TFF, Mega Death Metal, what are you doing? Maybe the kettle was on. Maybe he had no faith in the team that he was in, but that's not how you play World of Tanks. That was just madness. TFF, taking for fun. Is this a name and shame video? I don't know, but that was just, I don't know. Maybe he had lag, maybe he was already going forward. It's happened to us all. Sometimes when the game lags out, you'll just keep heading in the direction you're heading in. He didn't seem to be moving his gun at all, so maybe that's what the problem was. 7-4 is the score. He's picked up just over 1,000 hit points of damage, a lot of that on the T-34. And now he's looked like he's going to try and do the circle of death on the Tiger P. He needs to make sure that no one else can shoot at him though. It would be nice if that T-37 started shooting at the Tiger P. Gets him down to 950. Looks like the Tiger P is aiming at the T-37 now. So the T-37 needs to run away. Artillery, what the hell was that? Artillery nearly took Shipwreckedtwice out there. And now, while the Tiger P is focusing on the T-37, Tiger P obviously thinks that the light tank will be an easier tank to penetrate. Now he's shooting at Shipwreckedtwice, but Shipwreckedtwice is going to beat him on the reload and take him out of the game, send him back to the garage. 8-5 is the score. And Shipwreckedtwice has doubled his damage there. Now we can see the Tiger 1. It's only going to take 3 or 4 shots to kill the Tier 7 heavy tank. Of course, the other tanks being quite helpful, putting some damage in to the Tier 7 German heavy tank. He gets a shot into the KV-1 before the T-29 kills him. And now he's looking for the Cheeto, the Scorpion G, and of course that E-25. 12-6 is the score, so it's a case of cleaning up now. Needs to get some damage into that Scorpion G and talk him out of climbing that hill. The Scorpion G could quite easily one-shot Shipwreckedtwice, but now unlucky for that shot not to hit. If that had a hit, that might have done the job, but he gets in with the second shot, getting rid of the big alpha gun of the Scorpion G, the premium Tier 8 German tank destroyer. 4 kills he's on, and he's looking for another one, looking for a shot on the E-25. The E-25 uses its speed to get out of the way. He actually sets that E-25 on fire. Let's see if he can get the kill. No, the T-20 kill steals. That would have been Shipwreckedtwice's kill if he had have just let it burn. Gets rammed by the Oni, gets rammed by his own player, but picks up the kill on the Cheeto. Would have been a top gun if the other player had have let that E-25 burn, but wasn't to be. But what he did do, he picked himself up an Ace Tanker Mastery Badge, Shipwreckedtwice. Remember, this is a Tier 8 game with lots of Tier 7 tanks in it. Only a few Tier 8s, but it was still a Tier 8 game. Shipwreckedtwice from RNG was in the Cromwell. He gave himself an Ace Tanker for that epic performance. Fighter, Bruiser, Duelist, Fire for Effect. Lee, what's this medal? I can never say this one, but it's the one where you get 2 kills in a medium for killing 2 tanks that are 2 tiers higher than you. Of course, that would have been the T-34 as well as the Scorpion G, and a high caliber. So he actually did more damage than anyone else, even those Tier 7s and 8s. Looking at the post-game battle results, an absolute carry by Shipwreckedtwice. Unlucky to be killed and unlucky not to get the top gun, but he did 3,601 hit points of damage for his 5 kills, 1,705 base experience, of course, because he's in a Tier 6. You get the bonus because you're for being low tier. You get a bonus to your experience, but he did more than double the amount of damage than anybody else did on his team, including those Tier 8s and 9s. The T-34 looks like he just drove. He didn't do any damage. Looks like he just drove forward. Must have been lag. I'm sure it was lag. I'm sure it wasn't him doing anything silly. But Shipwreckedtwice, an absolute mega carry. 3,601 hit points of damage. 5 kills. He fired 36 shots. 31 hit. 27 went through. That was enough for an Ace Tanker Mastery Badge. Did do a little bit of credits in that game. There would have been some premium ammunition fired, I'm sure, especially against those heavily armoured Tier 8 tanks. But all in all, a pretty epic game from Shipwrecked Twice, from RNG Clan, and of course my old mate MatchyHK and his Stridsvagen 72, the Tier 6 double medium tank, Tier 6 Swedish, and the Tier 6 British medium tank, the Cromwell. Thanks for watching, everyone. Thanks for the replays, lads. Take care, and see you all next time.